Hey y'all, and welcome to the video. For this video, we're going to be swapping out the serpentine belt on a 6.7 truck. Now the 6.7s, the early 6.7s, they have the same belt routing, same belt as the 5.9. So this is the same for 03 through 2012 Cummins 5.9 or 6.7. And today I got this Continental Elite belt, part number, I don't even know, I think the camera's reversed here, 4081261. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the Continental Elite belt that we used to get. This one has, you can see the standard ribs in here, just like a regular belt. I mean, the quality of it's good, but it's just a standard rib belt. This is the belt that used to be called the Gatorback belt, but this isn't the Gatorback pattern. You would see much more complex pattern inside here where the ribs are, and that's the belt that's on this truck. So we'll get that off of there and then we'll compare them. But this isn't as good as the one we're taking off, but it's still a quality belt. So tools, 1/2 inch breaker bar or something that's 1/2 inch. You could use a 1/2 inch socket and an extension or something like that to take tension off the tensioner. Socket set might be needed on the 6.7. There's a couple fan shroud bolts on the bottom that it help to take those loose so that you can bring your breaker bar past it. You'll see that in a minute. And then a belt routing diagram to show the belt routing so you don't forget. We'll get in there. Challenges. What challenges do you normally face? One challenge is getting the belt between the block and the tensioner so that you can get the belt over the tensioner pulley. One easy thing you could do, if you really need to, is take the tensioner loose, make more space. The other issue, especially on this truck for whatever reason, the 6.7 compared to my 5.9, is trying to fit the belt in between the crank and the fan pulleys. There's not much clearance there. So the same goes for getting the old belt off. When I changed the belt on this truck last time, I actually took some scissors and cut the belt to get it off because I was struggling with it that much. I'm hoping not to do that today so I can keep my old belt as a spare. So let's get in there and see what we can do. Okay, the job is complete. I decided to change the style of video here. Rather than try to show every step, it was very difficult to film and I struggled with this. Instead, I'm going to do a rundown video and explain the important points to know about changing your serpentine belt on your truck. So first of all, this is the Gatorback style. You can see how it's got this angled pattern to it and all these little grooves. And so it's not your typical ribbed pattern. And this is supposed to quiet your belt down and prevent the chirp when you shut your truck down. I managed to get this off in one piece, and that is a bit of a surprise. There is very little clearance between the fan and crank pulleys. So if we look at our diagram, right in between here, there's so tight a space, you have to grab both ends of the belt and just rock it back and forth as you push it through, and for your old belt, as you pull it out. Or you can just take some scissors and cut it. That solves half the problem as far as getting it out, but doesn't help you when putting a new belt on. The next thing, if I recall right, I did loosen the tensioner to help me slide the belt out and back in. You have to slide the belt in between the engine block and this pulley. So the smooth side needs to be down on this, and you need to make sure that you're putting this section of belt, rib side would face towards the block, rib side towards the block, and then over top of the pulley, if I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure I did rib side towards the block. And then to actually get all your belts on, I like to do the AC pulley last. A lot of people like to go from up top and do the alternator last. You could do it either way, but when taking tension off, you got to push it all the way. to have just enough slack to get it over this pulley. Fresh belt seemed to be a little bit tighter than the old belt. So those are the two challenges. This is the real main challenge, and then this one here, getting the face down, you know, flat, smooth surface on this pulley and in between the block and this pulley. So that is it for the replacement. Not much space to work. I did have to take the fan shroud bolts loose. I'll show you this. Fan shroud bolts. Yeah, the 6.7's got this big fan shroud here. I would not have to do this on 5.9. I'd have enough room. But you know, there's 4 13mm bolts on the corners of the fan shroud, 2 underneath as well. And then just making sure we have the belt lined up. There's the new belt on there. Haven't fired the truck up yet, but I will do that here in a second. What else? So this belt here, Continental Elite Gatorback style. What's the review of this belt? This belt actually spent 101,000 miles on that truck there before being transferred over to this truck, where it spent another 20 or 25,000 miles. So for 125K, the belt is in pretty good shape. A lot of the scratches and stuff on the belt's from putting it on and taking it back off. And this is gonna make a good spare. I'm gonna put this under the passenger side seat, but after 125K, I felt like it was time to go with a fresh belt. So that's gonna be it for this one. Good luck with your belt replacement. It's not fun, but I'm glad I got it done and over with, and we'll be good for another 100K. Okay, fire and hole. Sounds okay. Just gonna pull out. Make sure we are all aligned on those pulleys. We're out on test drive. Everything's going well, so that's where I'm going to end the video. Hope you all learned something from it. Helps you out with your job that you're doing. And